It's finally time to the final countdown of Skibidi 2009 Part 1. Let's do this.
Hi guys, Iron Cameraman here. Mr. Boom said that due to some unexpected real-life circumstances, the new
It's tonight in the night of June 8th. We are doing this on final countdown, and Steak is doing final countdown as well.
episode is delayed again, this time to around June 7th or 8th. The interesting part is that the animation is already finished, so even in the worst case, the delay shouldn't be more than 1 or 2 more days. Plus, he showed us one more spoiler, kind of like an appetizer before the main course, which is part 1 of episode 79. Still, it makes you wonder, what could be so important that Boom had to push the episode back again? I have a theory. As you might know, there's been some early teasing about a Skibidi toilet movie. It's possible that Boom is now working on it, and that took more time than he expected. Maybe he was invited to help out as a lore expert, assist with the characters, or even take part as a creative supervisor. The timing of these two things, the delay and the movie buzz, is just too perfect to be a coincidence. Then again, it could really be something from his personal life, maybe moving to a new place or dealing with something serious. Now, let's talk about the spoiler. There are 3 cool details. The first is that we clearly see the base staff and equipment being prepped for evacuation using Polycephaly's teleport. There's a chance the cameraman ends up in the abyss again, and maybe we'll learn more about that place, or about the past of the characters reflected in it. But where is Polycephaly teleporting all this stuff? The first guess is the TV men's base, but is it really? We're all still asking, where is the Speaker Titan? And a teleportation scene to their base could finally answer that, maybe showing his repair or upgrade process. We've already seen something similar when TV Titan 3.0 was teased back in episode 66. And knowing how much Boom likes referencing his earlier episodes, this could totally be one of those moments. Second thing, there's a suspicious chair placed on top of a container. Obviously, a chair wouldn't be a top priority in an emergency evacuation, so it's probably Agent Tessa again using her hologram disguise. The big question is whether she and the secret agent will jump into action again to protect the cameraman base. That depends on what they can actually do against the Astros. G-Man's hologram, or signal jamming, could only delay the inevitable, the destruction of the base. But in battle, the green energy balls, or maybe even a way to cancel out the Duchess's hyperjump by targeting her core might help, and they could even take her hostage. The third and final thing, the containers with radiation hazard signs. I counted 5 of them. We've never seen anything like that on the cameraman's side before.
Oh, yeah. But we're going to move on to this one. Oh no, not the thing.
Hi guys, Iron Cameraman here. Breaking news. First of all, as you probably already know, Michael Bay just dropped a new reel. But this time, he actually confirmed that we're going to see something soon. Before this, Boom had posted some vague updates, but now, after the reel, he added that he previously didn't know certain things going on behind the scenes, but now he does. And he's genuinely excited, and I mean, I could try to describe how hyped he is, but honestly, that wouldn't do it justice. So here, just check out the video he posted.
Yes, Michael. That's a W, Michael. You're so skibidi, Michael. We're gonna make $1 billion, Michael. Let's go!
I'm just as pumped about this news. What really grabs my...
Oh, sorry, Oh, no, yeah, sorry.
my attention is how secretive everything is. From the looks of Boom's posts, even he doesn't fully know what's coming. Also, Michael Bay called the Skibidi toilet fans some of the most loyal out there.
Skibidi fans are some of the most loyal in the world.
That's pretty awesome to hear. Now for the really juicy part. In one of the frames on Michael Bay's computer screen, we spotted what looks like a computer man with a glowing green screen. And in Boom's video, for just a split second, a mysterious character appears. The quality's awful, the lighting's bad.
No. But we still do it fine, because that we do it. But is that talented one of inside the version of Doom.
Too, but it seems to be an infected, upgraded Titan TV man. Behind him, there's an astro ring. And here's something most people probably missed. The shape of his head looks super similar to this leak. It might actually be part of his body now. Not 100% confirmed, but it really looks that way. To be honest, I wasn't planning on talking about this today, but I just couldn't help myself. We'll dive deeper into all of this in the next video, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. But for now, let's move on to the main part of today's video. Take a look at this. In the early version, Polycephaly TV man teleports right when Hugo Boss touches his leg. But let's be real, this scene feels totally flat. Now compare that to what Boom ended up doing. He knows exactly how to make a scene feel epic. And there are actually a bunch of examples where the final version turned out way better than the draft. That said, I'm not here just to criticize or point out changes. I also want to highlight some of the good stuff in this early version. It's clear the team put in a lot of effort. Even though a lot of details were reworked, most of the key scenes still made it to the final release. Oh, and by the way, that Hunter leak from the folder of the former employee? It came from this version. Now it all makes sense what that screenshot was. But the most interesting part kicks off with the invasion of the Speakerman Armada. And honestly, some of the decisions here are even cooler than what ended up in the final cut. But first, let's pay our respects to this poor little Speakerman who accidentally got taken out by the Executor. Well, actually no. Turns out he didn't die. He managed to fly back at the last second. Still, go ahead and drop a like. I mean, come on, I didn't make up this like bait for nothing, right? Ahem. Anyway, here we go. Before we dive into the differences between the two versions of episode 78, let's quickly take a look at the text overlays from Strider. In those, he explains that he worked on some test animations, basically rough scenes and experimental renders that were part of the early planning for the episode. But later on, Boom completely reworked everything and gave the whole thing a massive overhaul. Strider was given permission to show those early tests so the audience could get a behind-the-scenes look at how the episode evolved. Around the middle of the video, the sound cuts out. That's just because the sound design wasn't finished yet. And the animations are clearly rough. Some parts have no lighting, others are missing effects. It's like a raw, behind-the-curtain peek at what the episode looked like early on. Before posting the video, Strider also shared a long message where he explained that his main job now is to design new stuff for Boom. He also addressed some criticism people threw at him, saying he offered help, and Boom declined. But Strider made it clear that was Boom's decision, because he's aiming for top-tier quality and wants to handle it himself. He said most of the hate felt forced, like people were just waiting for an excuse to be negative. Honestly, that tracks. I personally didn't see much backlash, but apparently there was some, and that sucks. So yeah, it's good he spoke up about it. There are always going to be haters like that. Anyway, let's move on to the actual animation now. The episode is only 4.5 minutes long, and it's missing a ton of scenes. No smoke moment, no stake scene, and just a bunch of stuff skipped overall. There are two possible reasons for that. The first one's the most obvious. Somewhere along the way, Mr. Boom probably told them to stop animating, and Strider just called it off. The second theory is less likely but kind of interesting. Maybe the missing scenes had alternative storylines or important plot points that they decided not to reveal just yet. Maybe Boom is planning to reuse those parts later in future episodes as plot twists, and showing them now would spoil too much. Though honestly, based on how unfinished the animation looks, the first theory seems more accurate. Plus, Strider said from the beginning, this was just a rough draft. No point in polishing everything if Boom was already planning to rebuild the whole thing from scratch. Also, maybe it makes sense. Plus, his head design is different too in this version. I can't really say which one's better, but the old one looked a lot like the Sledgehammers, while the final one feels more unique. Overall, I'd even say Strider's version of the Speaker Army scene was more impactful. It's not just speakers wiping everyone out with zero resistance. There's a real battle going on. Sure, we didn't see how it ended, but it's clear the Astro Toilets were fighting back. And it wasn't just one-sided. Some moments turned out so good that Mr. Boom actually kept them in the final cut. Like Executor's ability to stop bullets with sound, or when he finishes off one of the downed Astros, and of course the Hunter fight. That whole sequence was almost exactly the same, except the speaker is slightly bigger in the final version, and the fight itself looks way more epic. Though even in the draft, Hunter managed to land a hit. He actually damaged the speaker a little. In the final, he didn't even get that far. Looks like Boom liked that scene so much he didn't just keep it, he upgraded it to be way more intense. So overall, it's possible that the story needed the Speakermen Armada to look super powerful, at least in their first appearance. And honestly, that's not the first time something like this has happened in the series. Just think back to episode 50 when the upgraded Titan cameraman first showed up. Back then he seemed so strong it felt like no one could ever stop him. Boom often uses that kind of approach to really impress the audience and show the scale of a threat, or the strength of the allies. Then as the story progresses, stronger enemies start to appear to balance things out.